crime, I would say that our crime is peace. Bruna is my partner in peace. And this snuck up on me. All this stuff she's saying, I'm going, oh my God, she's been keeping track. Even till the one I shared recently when I went home to my mother's sister's burial, the king surprised me with the chieftaincy title for the work that I do with children, with youth, with women, with girls. Bruna, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't do what I do for awards. I do it because it just brings me joy to impact the life of a girl, of a woman, of a child, of a young person, of people. I love people, and I think that everybody deserves peace in their lives, whatever peace means to that person. And so that I'm in awe because I don't know where to start. But thank you for recognizing the work that I do, that we all do. I'm in the midst of people who I think value life. And I want to thank you for valuing every life. Every life matters. There's a lot that I dig myself into, and I find the commonality thread is the 24/7 dedication that sometimes people say, do you ever sleep? Well, I kind of find sleep, but as long as I can be up to get something done, I get it done. And I work hard for what I earns me money, but I put everything I earn back into the community. And happily that I see my children doing that. And I learned that from my mom and dad. My mother was a midwife, and my father was a physiotherapist who worked with the orthopedics. So when he comes back from work, he's back in the house working. And my mother, they had babies in my house all my life, all night. But I used to wonder, why aren't they like super wealthy? Well, my mother, after giving birth to a baby, she goes in her bag and she finds the baby clothes for the children. And we used to say, Mom, why don't you just like get money? She goes, that's okay. And then you see the patients in our kitchen taking food. She packs and gives you when you finish having the baby. And so I didn't understand that, because other people who were like her made big money and lived. But in our house, there were babies having. She would go to the market. She would buy those big bags of what we call gari, rice, beans, everything. And she shared it all out. And she didn't allow us to have people coming to clean for us. We cleaned and we did everything with everyone, even though she was somebody who did well. But just a little background about me not having the line between my life and the life of giving back to our community. I don't have to bore you with everything that I am that I do, including the recognition and appointment from Governor Edmund Brown to have me doing policies, working with a lot of our elected officials to turn initiatives into assembly bills and Senate bills. And so I'm really grateful to be able to take things that are of pain to our community and taking it to a complaint circle. I work with the Parent Network and the Early Childhood Network, and then turn that into laws that are beginning to impact the learning. Where do I get my passion? I can sum it up with what Mandela said. Mandela said that education is the most powerful weapon by which you can change the world. And that's absolute fact. It's research, it's founded. So I pour a lot of what I do into helping build strong children. And that takes me to Frederick Douglass, who says, it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. And so that I put a lot of my energy into working with children. I run a nonprofit that's in Berkeley, in the city of Berkeley, that is dedicated to low-income families, children that are from foster care, children that are wards of courts, children from homelessness. And so I channel the funds from departments of education to make sure we offer high quality education. My program in Berkeley is 5-on-5 quality rating. That means that it's important to us that these children who wouldn't have had high quality education because they can't afford the high quality schools can go to a school that's funded by the state, research curriculum, and the children excel. And then we also channel the social services funds, which also helps to give comprehensive care to the child and the family. So we're supporting children from when they are really young to after school age, and providing high quality food. So nutrition is high quality as well. So they're getting top notch. I'm paying for resources that come into pipe into supporting the program. And as well, in my community, I even as of these 3 days, I'm getting awards in the village. So I had to send people to go get the awards. And I'm getting an award in another village where it's called Abuja. So I sent someone else. But it's not about collection of awards. What I'm really happy is that it's impacting. And the impact is where people go, oh, we really appreciate it. That encourages me to give more. And the school is called Good Story School. It's in a village, in a remote village where the water overtakes the village and you have to go with canoe. But I found people that give good education. So from my little salary, I'll send money. For example, if I send $1 translates to 1,000 naira. So if I send $200, I'm sending 200,000 naira, and that can educate many children. So I would send things like that to schools. I would send it to the adult youth program because they go back and they help fix things for families. They help provide food, they help make a difference. So every little way that I can, and it's hard to, of course, find funding because people would rather use their money. But so every impact I can, establish scholarship program with my friends. So when we go as alumni, it's not just to go have a get together, but it's to go make sure that we build dormitories for children, that we help make sure that their physics lab is fine, to make sure that the chemistry lab is fine, that there's a book store, that there's also library, that they can play basketball, they can play. So just making sure we strengthen the foundation. And these are children that otherwise they don't have support and they're out in the street. Then I also help women. There's a young girl whose father died very young. And because a lot of times the father is the source of funds, it means that the woman has to do really, really difficult things like prostitution or go hungry. So we help that young girl, help the family. The young girl was sent to school here in America, but when she came back home, there's nothing else to do. So we set up what was her talent. She's great at collaborating. So with $10, they can train another young girl on the street. So we started this outfit called Mama Money, where she would have somebody and say, what do you want to learn? What's your talent? I know how to do hair. Okay, so they train with $10 and the money accumulated help them start that hair school. Or if they want to do trading, they do that. And I also take young girls off the street and I would ask, what do you want to do? I can't keep giving you money. So let's think about your talents. The last one that I just completed, I sent her about $1,000, but I didn't give it to her. We went through, what do you want to do? So she says, I want to sell foods. And I said, what kind of foods? She says, I want to be, people are hungry, and we agreed. First, she said different things. We got to, okay, selling foods. Okay. But I felt like selling foods in a bar would expose her to men who might abuse her. So we went up and down, and finally is selling food products in a store, which means people who come to her store are people coming to buy products that they then go home, like rice and beans and everything. So we established the pathway. So when she was done, I gave her the first money, which is to get a store. Then she showed me the picture of the store, then to fix the store. Then we went through how much, find somebody. And then she found that person. My helper at home would then check it, make sure it's done. Then we built the store, we built the shelves. Then she started shopping for the materials, and then she got the materials. They painted it, and then she opened the store. She has 3 young children. Her own fate was that her husband died. And because she only had 3 girls, the village got her out of, the family got her out to say she doesn't have children because she didn't have a boy. So that means she has no help, she has nowhere to go, and she was homeless. So I started with helping her get something, then to the point she has a store. Then we opened an account. So she has an account for herself for upkeep and an account for the store. So I kind of did all the coaching. Now she put money from the store. So she would go, oh, look, I sold this amount today. And so example of stories like that. Somebody else was baking and she would bake on the firewood because we got to the point where she started baking. But then I said, go find any kind of oven. She found used oven. We started with that. Now she bakes for birthdays and then she's selling, she's making money. So I'm constantly finding ways to work together. And then now that we have an organization called NAPAC, NAPAC is Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee. We're trying to scale it up. We're also still looking for partners to help us scale it up so we'll help more children. There was a woman, she was accused of adultery, and I saw the picture in a village square WhatsApp group, and they kind of were disgracing her. I immediately picked up my phone and I called, and I was able to collaborate with another partner that sort of barbaric act should stop. And I just didn't keep quiet. I fought for it till they got it to the state level. And now they brought it back to communities to establish how you deal with adultery accusation. I don't care if it's true or not, but that was inhumane to have her going through the street and everybody clapping and making a jest of her. So we're able to change such laws. So I'm constantly on the move, making, because what I want is the emancipation and freedom and equality, equity, education for all whether you're a young girl, a young boy, youth, finding jobs. And now I've started a farming group where we're putting about 2 million naira, which is like $2,000. And then we're doing the farming. So I can go on, but I'm constantly in projects. I'm constantly collaborating. I have a product called SKC Apps, which helps to teach literacy and reading. And we get it from here. And I find funders that would help get it to the table, to the hands of young children. Just like the other woman said, Awadi said, I find partners, we get the SKC app, we get a cell phone, iPad, whatever we can to get it. So it's constantly finding ways to build a community, strengthen. I build a website now where all children can go. It's free to learn our culture and learn our language because it's getting lost. And when you lose who you are, you lose everything. So I'm probably gone over my time, so I'll be quiet. But this is something I just do every day. Not easy. Sometimes I have to find ways to pay my bills and still get it done. But I don't want those children and women and girls to be lost. So just do all my best. Thank you for your time. And I appreciate it.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Ufoegbune. Sorry.
You did wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad. Yeah, thank you so much for your sharing. And yeah, just the main thing that's coming through for me is just straight from your childhood. You learned it from your parents that really there is no separation between your own home life and community. And that's such a beautiful concept that I think many people, it's hard to think of that. We might want to think that way, but in action, in practice, it's so much harder sometimes. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing really the results of just letting go and really just allowing ourselves to treat the community around us and those we care about as our extended family, and creating such an impact along the way. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. And thank you so much to all three of our ladies. Yeah, this is just an amazing group of ladies. So let's give all of them a last round of applause. Yes.
Thank you, Bruna. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really a lesson, I feel, of the, with passion and a little boldness, the creativity really comes, and so much impact can be made by just one person starting something.